Imagine waking up one day and finding out a core memory you've had your entire life is, well, just plain wrong. Not just wrong for you, but for millions of other people too. It's like a shared hallucination, a glitch in our collective understanding of reality. This isn't just a quirky anecdote, it's a phenomenon so widespread it's earned its own name, the Mandela Effect. It challenges everything we think we know about how our brains work, how history is recorded, and even the very fabric of existence itself, which is wild, by the way. So, what exactly are we talking about here? The Mandela Effect is essentially when a large group of people collectively remember something differently from how it actually happened or exists. The name itself comes from a shared false memory surrounding Nelson Mandela. Many people distinctly remember him dying in prison in the 1980s, even seeing news coverage of his funeral. But Nelson Mandela was, of course, released from prison in 1990 and passed away peacefully in 2013, after serving as president of South Africa. It's a stark, unsettling discrepancy, isn't it? Perhaps one of the most famous examples, and one that trips up countless people, is the Berenstain Bears. For many, many people, it was always spelled Berenstein, with an E. You remember the classic children's books, maybe even the cartoons, clearly as Berenstein. Yet, if you go look at any of the books or merchandise today, it's definitively Berenstain, with an A. It seems like a minor detail, but for those who are certain of their memory, it's genuinely disorienting. It just feels wrong, you know? Another classic, and one that even casual movie fans get wrong, is from Star Wars. Most people remember Darth Vader saying, "Luke, I am your father." It's practically etched into pop culture history. But if you watch The Empire Strikes Back again, the actual line is, "No, I am your father." The word Luke is never said. It's a small change, but it fundamentally shifts the rhythm and impact of the line in our memory. It's not what you think it is, and that surprise really highlights the effect. The list goes on, touching everyday brands we see all the time. Many remember the cereal Fruit Loops as being Fruit Loops, believing it was spelled phonetically. But it's fruit. And then there's the chocolate bar Kit Kat. Did it have a hyphen between Kit and Kat in your memory? For countless people, it absolutely did. Yet, if you grab one today, or look at any historical branding, there's no hyphen to be found. Just Kit Kat. These are small, seemingly insignificant details that stick in our collective consciousness, but are factually incorrect. So, how can millions of people be so confidently wrong about things they're sure they remember? The most common and scientifically accepted explanations point to the fascinating, and often flawed, nature of human memory and perception. Our brains aren't perfect recording devices, you know? They're more like creative storytellers, constantly editing, omitting, and even inventing details to make sense of the world. This is where psychology offers some compelling insights into the Mandela Effect. One key factor is confabulation, where our brains unconsciously fill in gaps in memory with plausible, but false, information. We truly believe these fabricated memories are real. Another powerful force is suggestibility. If enough people confidently assert a memory, others might start to remember it the same way, even if they hadn't before. It's a kind of social contagion for memories. Think about how a group discussion can sometimes subtly alter your own recollections of an event. It's really quite scary how easily our minds can be swayed, isn't it? Then there are source monitoring errors. This is when we remember a piece of information, but we forget where we learned it. For example, you might remember Luke, I am your father because you heard it in a parody or saw it on a meme, not because you actually watched the movie and heard the original line. Over time, that distinction fades, and the popular, incorrect version becomes your personal memory. Our brains are just not great at keeping track of where our information came from, which is a bit problematic for truth. And let's not forget confirmation bias. Once we believe something, we tend to seek out and interpret information in a way that confirms our existing beliefs. So, if you're convinced the Berenstain Bears were Berenstein, you might subconsciously filter out any evidence to the contrary or rationalize it away. This bias reinforces the false memory, making it even harder to dislodge. It's a tricky cycle that solidifies these collective errors, making them feel incredibly real to the individual. Pop culture plays a huge role in perpetuating some of these effects. Parodies, memes, and casual references often repeat the misremembered versions of things, like Luke, I am your father. When these incorrect versions become more widely circulated than the original, they embed themselves in our collective consciousness. It creates a sort of feedback loop where the false memory is constantly reinforced through cultural osmosis. It's almost like a game of telephone on a global scale, but with everyone confidently asserting the wrong message. While cognitive psychology offers solid explanations, some people find these theories insufficient to account for the sheer number and consistency of Mandela effects. This leads to more speculative, mind-bending theories. What if it's not just our faulty brains? What if there's something else at play? These ideas often venture into the realm of science fiction, touching on concepts that challenge our most fundamental understanding of reality itself. It's where the conversation gets really interesting, and a little bit unsettling. One of the most popular, and certainly most exciting, alternative theories suggests that the Mandela effect is evidence of parallel universes. The idea is that we, or at least our consciousness, might be slipping between slightly different realities. In one reality, the Berenstain Bears were spelled with an E, in another, with an A. When we shift, we carry over memories from a previous reality that don't quite match our current one. It's a compelling thought, suggesting that our universe is just one of many, which is a pretty wild concept. Another theory, often linked to the parallel universes idea, points to large scientific experiments, particularly those conducted at CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research. Some wonder if the high-energy particle collisions at the Large Hadron Collider could be inadvertently affecting spacetime or even ripping holes between dimensions, leading to subtle changes in our reality. Of course, CERN scientists dismiss these claims, but the idea of science accidentally altering our world is a potent one for the imagination, isn't it? Then there's the more grounded, but still unsettling, idea of digital manipulation. In an age where images, videos, and texts can be easily altered and shared online, some wonder if certain Mandela effects could be the result of deliberate or accidental digital changes that spread quickly. Could an original image or film clip have been edited, and our collective memory unconsciously adjusted to the new fact? It raises questions about trust in digital media and how easily our perceived reality can be subtly rewritten, which is a scary thought. Regardless of whether you lean towards psychological explanations or more speculative theories, the Mandela effect has profound implications. It forces us to question the reliability of our own memories and, by extension, our understanding of truth. If millions can be wrong about something so concrete, what does that say about historical accounts, eyewitness testimonies, or even our personal narratives? It suggests that truth might be more fluid and subjective than we generally assume, which is a challenging concept to grapple with. The Mandela effect also highlights the delicate and complex nature of our shared reality. What we perceive as real isn't just an individual experience, it's a collective construct, constantly being shaped and reinforced by those around us. When that collective construct breaks down, even in small ways, it's unsettling because it reveals the fragile consensus upon which our entire understanding of the world rests. It's a reminder that our perception of reality is a cooperative effort, and sometimes, that cooperation can lead to fascinating errors. So, what's the takeaway from all this? Perhaps it's a call to greater humility about our own memories and perceptions. To be more open to the idea that what we know might not always be entirely accurate. It encourages us to look deeper, to verify, and to engage critically with information, whether it's from personal recall or external sources. The Mandela effect isn't just a quirky phenomenon, it's a profound mirror reflecting the intricate, sometimes baffling, workings of the human mind and the mysteries of the universe. What do you remember?